I'm Joe Reed, and this is Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. Robin Whitten has been my co-pilot for the whole week. Robin, land this plane. Ooh, and I know what you're talking about. It really works.
Well, we are going to be talking about Liane Moriarty's new title, Here One Moment, read by Caroline Lee and Geraldine Hakewill.
Okay, tell us the premise.
And the premise is, since we're landing the plane did land. This is about a woman who, on a very much delayed flight in Australia, walks through the cabin predicting when and how each of the other passengers will die.
And nobody smacks her.
Well, no. She gets through everyone, but she sets off. I think everyone is so
Whew.
stunned, and she sets off this absolutely incredible sequence of as all the passengers try to figure out whether this is a real prediction or if they can do anything about it, can they change their destiny? And the story is truly unputdownable because, of course, you really have to know what happens with all of these passengers.
Okay, but as she's doing this, no passenger comes back at her? I'm not even saying physically, but no one says, "Are you insane? Shut up and sit down."
Basically, yes. I mean, some of them did. They all, "Well, I don't
Oh.
understand," or, "She's having a bad moment," or, "She's not making any sense," and she just walks through the plane, and, so it sets off. I mean, as a listener, it set off the entire story where you're like, "Okay, now what's gonna happen?" And because you have 2 narrators. We have Caroline Lee, who is the voice of Cherry, who becomes known as the Death Lady. And then you have Geraldine Hakewill, who is doing the stories of each of the passengers and what happens. Some of them worry and try to change their lives. Some of them don't even pay any attention to the prediction. The tension here is so amazing, built by both narrators, because as the story evolves, we learn more and more about Cherry and her life and how how this happened, how she got on the plane and started making these predictions.
Well, why don't we hear a little?
We get introduced to the Death Lady.
So let's listen. This is Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty, read by Caroline Lee and Geraldine Hakewill.
Later, not a single person will recall seeing the lady board the flight at Hobart Airport. Nothing about her appearance or demeanour raises a red flag or even an eyebrow. She is not drunk or belligerent or famous. She's not injured, like the bespectacled hipster with his arms scaffolded in white gauze so that one hand is permanently pressed to his heart, as if he's professing his love or honesty. She's not frazzled, like the sweaty young mother trying to keep a grip on a slippery baby, a furious toddler, and far too much carry-on. She's not frail, like the stooped elderly couple wearing multiple heavy layers as if they're off to join Captain Scott's Antarctic expedition. She's not grumpy, like the various middle-aged people with various middle-aged things on their minds, or the flight's only unaccompanied minor, a 6-year-old forced to miss his friend's laser tag party because his parents' shared custody agreement requires him to be on this flight to Sydney every Friday afternoon.
Okay, a couple of questions. Where is this set?
It's set in Australia. Plane is going
Uh-huh.
from Sydney to Hobart. So it's all full of wonderful Australian accents.
And it's also it's difficult to do that narrative setup. So, kudos for it being done very, very well.
Very well, beautifully done, and this is an Earphones Award and really probably, oh, it's hard to say, but really one of my favorites.
I think this is the one I'm picking up this week.
After Impossible Creatures, don't forget that one.
I will not forget that one. Okay, so that is Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty, read by Caroline Lee and Geraldine Hakewill. Great week. What can I say, Robin? Great week.
Well, there are lots of really brilliant women narrators to listen to here. Lots of good listening.
Dreamscape, an award winning audiobook publisher, is the sponsor of today's episode of Behind the Mic. Dreamscape's catalog includes authors such as L.J. Shen, Frida McFadden, and Annie Ernaux. Behind the Mic is produced by Jessica Lockhart. Robin Whitten, Michelle Cobb, Emily Connolly, Alan Minskoff, and Kendra Winchester are our contributors. Jennifer Dell is our editor, and the music is William Ross Chernoff's Nomads 4-Way. And I'm your host, Joe Reed. Good listening.